Give me the best agents for this mission.
Personnel selected.
You ready to deal?
Venom.
What a sucker!
Hello and welcome to yet another edition of the Full Force News Burst, brought to you by GeneralsJoes Reborn.com with me as your host, Chris. Hello 2018 McLeod, aka Diagnostic 80. Joining me today to discuss the news that the M.A.S.K movie has found its writer is Justin Penetrator Bell. So without further ado, let's get stuck into this news burst. And that's a M.A.S.K helmet, by the way. Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking something else entirely.
Exactly.
Still related to helmets, but
of course.
different.
Well, you know, it's definitely related. Everything's related to helmets when we're about. Back in April of 2018, we reported that F. Gary Gray had been attached as a director to Paramount and Hasbro's Mobile Armored Strike Command movie. Almost 2 years later, and we're talking about this forgotten project once again, because we finally have a writer for the film. Chris Bremner, famous for his recent smash hit Bad Boys for Life, joins Gray, who also boasts a healthy action flick resume with Fate of the Furious and Men in Black International, to name but a few. Bremner is also currently writing National Treasure 3, a franchise which has somehow become a huge guilty pleasure of mine. I literally watch the first two on a semi-regular basis, and I have no idea why. Anyway,
you and me both.
This is a huge surprise out of nowhere and such a great boost. What with Snake Eyes so close to completion, gross, and a Micronauts movie in production, it feels as though the Hasbro cinematic universe could be on the verge of, well, happening. Let's hope Hasbro aren't using illusion as their ultimate weapon for this one, because I needs me a M.A.S.K movie. Justin, first off, I mean, what? We all thought this project was dead in the water, and now, bam, it's back up and running again. Are you happy to see this one back from the dead?
Yeah, well, it's quite a coincidence, because hearing this news, I'm pretty close to completion myself. But yeah, I mean, I'm
you
excited.
Part of the Hasbro cinematic universe.
M.A.S.K is a longtime favorite of mine. I loved M.A.S.K when I was a kid, and the only thing that's kind of kept me from diving back into it is mostly just cost of the stuff in the secondary market. I mean,
yeah.
Ridiculously expensive. I was always a little annoyed as a kid that the scale didn't quite match anything else, because I would have loved a little bit of a M.A.S.K G.I. Joe interaction, but I just thought they were, that's the kind of toy that I suspect, and I'm sure my diehard M.A.S.K collectors can tell me if I'm wrong, I thought it was a lot cooler as a kid than I probably would think it is as an adult, just by the nature of, a sports car that folds its doors up and all of a sudden becomes a jet. It may stretch the bounds of believability, but I would like to think my childhood innocence would be enough to look past that and enjoy it for what it is. But yes, some of those M.A.S.K toys were just incredible back in the day.
Yeah.
I mean, unlike Transformers, the vehicle forms actually really looked like the vehicles they were supposed to represent, and kind of weapons were really kind of clever, and I really enjoyed it quite a bit. And I think, M.A.S.K is one of those weird things where it's never really had, in my mind, a property that was worthy of the toy line. I mean, the animated series had its cool intro, but, the series itself, tend to focus a little bit too much on Scott and T-Bob and all that weird stuff, and not give us anything that we really wanted. And the comic series have been, not bad, but haven't really knocked my socks off either. So I would love to see some sort of media that kind of gives me as quality media to match the quality of the toy that we got back in the 80s.
Totally. And I suppose with the acquisition of E1 as well, I mean, M.A.S.K would be on the table for ripe for picking, especially if there's a film being made for it as well.
Oh, yeah.
No, I have to agree with you on the toys. Like, I'd still love a lot of them. I think Thunderhawk is definitely one of those ones where you're kind of a little bit like, this is a little goofy, but like vehicles like Condor, who that is one of the most beautiful designed like helicopter motorcycle things you're ever likely to see. Like, it's just so amazing. Gator is so cool. Rhino's amazing. Switchblade's superb.
Rhino, oh my god. Switchblade and Rhino were like two of my absolute favorites. I remember I think Switchblade was one of the first ones I got, and I just played the hell out of that. Of course, you got to wonder, I mean, the illusion is the ultimate weapon, and Switchblade is either, a deadly fighter jet or a deadly fighter helicopter. So I don't know how much of an illusion there is on that particular case.
I love how it's just like...
It's still pretty awesome.
It's like, okay, so basically the two speeds are really fast flying and really slow flying. They're your two options.
Yeah.
It's like, great.
But still, it's amazing stuff. And the Rhino, I loved the Rhino.
Rhino is incredible.
That was
yeah.
Badass. Yeah.
Rhino's one of those ones where you kind of mess about with it for a few minutes and you find a new feature. It's like the ejector seat to the right-hand side that kicks out. You've got the kind of the front chrome like grill that pops out the front. You've got the stacks which actually turn into guns. You've got the back that comes like slides backwards, and you've got that opening. The ramp comes down, and you've got the massive like rocket launcher, and like the interior, which is like that kind of computer desks and everything. It's just brilliant. And then I haven't even mentioned.
I'm gonna be on freaking eBay after this.
I know.
Now. I'm like looking at all this shit.
I actually bought that one off eBay that the guy did a custom one, like like a G.I. Joe scale Rhino, and I got that. Yeah. And that is just absolutely beautiful. Like I love that thing.
That's got to be amazing.
I know. Somehow, for some reason, I haven't put Matt Tracker in that yet, and I don't know why. But that's something I will be doing very well, hopefully as soon as I possibly can. But coming back to this film, I mean, do you think, what with Bremner's success on Bad Boys and with Gray's most recent films, do you think it's kind of a match made in heaven for what is clearly going to be a vehicle-driven, no pun intended, spectacle?
Oh, I think it definitely seems that way. I mean, some history with the Fast and the Furious franchise is just kind of makes me salivate a little bit thinking about what he's going to do on a vehicle-based, movie like M.A.S.K could very well be. I mean, they could easily make it very much a Fast and the Furious type of car stunt sort of spectacular. And I think that would really be an awesome formula if they decided to go that way.
Yeah.
There's all sorts of different potential. And I haven't actually seen the Bad Boys for Life film yet. I've heard some really great things about it.
Yeah.
Interestingly, I'm not sure he's got a extremely extensive or impressive resume beyond
literally,
that.
This is it so far, I think. Yeah. And the rest of it is like, in the process. Like National Treasure 3, for example.
Yeah, exactly. That was the first movie that came to my mind.
Why do I watch those films?
We need for the M.A.S.K franchise is a guy who directs one of the National Treasure movies.
Exactly.
That's what we need for M.A.S.K.
Exactly. Because illusion is the ultimate weapon.
Illusion, exactly. And there's no bigger illusion than Nicolas Cage.
I base all of my American history on National Treasure, so...
that would explain why you failed your citizenship test 4 times.
I'm actually a fugitive from the law, which is another movie he's probably going to be writing very soon as well. Yeah, anyway, Justin, mate, thanks for jumping on and chatting with me about this incredible M.A.S.K news. I mean, I'm so excited because we've got, Micronauts isn't one that I'm super, I'm crazy about, but actually I've been probably drawn towards it more in the last, I would say, couple of years, based on knowing Daryl DePriest and the fact that he's a big fan of it. All of the things that have been happening in and around Hasbro with the Micronauts. Obviously the fact they've got a director, the fact that we've got Snake Eyes coming very soon. I feel like some of these things are kind of falling into place very slowly, and I'm waiting now. The next thing is obviously going to be ROM, because we reported about they're having the writer for ROM about 2 years ago as well. So
we're trailblazers over here.
Exactly. When do you think the Visionaries movie is going to be made?
Oh man, don't even get me started on Visionaries. That would be amazing.
That would be so cool.
I wouldn't be close to completion. I would be done.
Yeah, we'd be finished. We'd be dead, I think, at that point. Anyway, our old hearts couldn't take it. Anyway, Justin, dude, thank you so much for joining me.
Not a problem. My pleasure.
That's it for this installment of the Full Force News Burst. Thank you to my awesome co-host, Justin Penetrator Bell. See you next time, and as always, Full Force. Or the Full Force is the ultimate weapon, or Illusion is the ultimate Full Force. Any of those. Just use it.
Yeah, any of that works. It's all good.
Make sure you get involved with the discussion by liking, sharing and commenting on these videos, and as always you can keep up with the show after listening by following on Twitter @TheFullForce, liking the Facebook page facebook.com/TheFullForce, and if you would like to contact the show you can message us on either of those platforms with feedback or questions. We have also started a Patreon page, so if you want to see your name up in lights on these videos or enjoy exclusive bonus content, then check out patreon.com the Full Force podcast, or click the link on any of the posts this podcast appears in. Full Force.